first, let me introduce my guest. Welcome to the Practical University. My guest is Richard Smith.
Hi, everyone.
Richard is a friend of mine. I will say this to your face and behind your back, but you know how I say to your face. I will say to him face, and will say to him back that Richard is a weirdo. You know, long before AI was developed, I mean, you know how I feel, boy. I'm gonna tell you how I feel straight up. Like, something wrong with you, like, so papa. But, some papa, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, what pop off the line I serve? We don't know. But we still know.
Something pop off with the Richie. However, there's a lot of practical common sense in some of the things that we have discussed. So Richard was one of my very first, you were the first guest I had on the Practical University.
Oh, nice.
And as I'm restarting the Practical University, once again, you are the very first.
All
right. So Richard is unique because he has some extremely weird and interesting ideologies about life, but these ideologies have served him well. And so today we want to talk about some of the practical strategies for elevating your money mindset. But before we get there, Richard, I want you to tell my viewers a little bit about yourself. Here's what I want to know. But I want to know the height and the weight and stuff. I want to know.
And lens. Go ahead.
Whatever.
I never said weird folks. Weird.
Very weird.
I think
Oh, Jesus. I want to know if there's one philosophy that has guided you so far. What has been that one philosophy that you would see as your, like, the ultimate guidepost for you?
ultimate guidepost.
Philosophy.
One of the things that has guided me throughout life is we basically attract what we are. That's one of my philosophies that I've led with over the years. If there's something I want, I basically need to be the thing that thing wants, or that person, whatever it is, whatever factor in life. So my philosophy is be the thing that what I want. Simple as that, and it applies to everything. That's my main philosophy, my main driving philosophy.
So what do you want to be?
What do I want to be?
Yeah, today. I mean,
today?
And when did the want to be start? Like, when did you come into this realization that this is how you want to function, and how did it change?
I would say from an early age. It could be as young as maybe 12 in my teens. Yeah, man. In my teens, I've always looked at life a little differently. I mean, as you grow up, you see what's going on, people telling you things. But I always had this curiosity to know more. Curiosity. You understand? Curiosity is what allows us to have all these wonderful inventions, technology, everything. Well, listen, cat have 9 lives, So, I mean, with all of that, they're set up. I don't think we need to be concerned about the cat. We only have one.
That's true. But the next thing is that we really need to start challenging some of the things that we grew up hearing or taught. Exactly. Like, curiosity kills the cat. Like, you to stay one place and no one learn nothing and do nothing else.
So since we even jump on that, let me just quickly address it. So curiosity has been one of my main mantras growing. And as I said, I've always questioned what people have been telling me, what society says, our culture. I've always questioned it as I said, from in my teens. And when they say curiosity kill the cat, it's also another culture. So why would you tell me that just being curious, which is just something of the mind, is going to kill something? It just never made sense to me. And as a result, I moved. Exactly.
We are human beings, and only for us to be curious.
Exactly. So the thing is, curiosity can also lead us to success. So that's another thing.
So you started this curious kind of vibe at 12. Tell me through, I know you started investing in real estate at 24, 25.
25.
But tell us about the other factors that would have led to you purchasing your first home, and you're now on number what?
Number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah.
All right. And how much have you now again? You're what, 38, 39?
I am 39. Nobody changing. Sometimes we can't remember it. But anyway.
All right. So between 24 when you purchased your first house and 29, tell me what led to that first purchase, that first interest.
All right. So when I was, as I said, 25, I you sit down and people tell you, yeah, you need to own a home and it's one of the biggest investments in life and all of those things. Yeah, we've all gotten that. And although I question culture, some of it, yeah, I followed it, but after which I questioned it and got through. But at 25, what would have happened is I actually went and started renting a unit myself as well as my child's mother at the time. Well, baby was in utero. I went and I rented.
Early man.
Yeah, man. 25. I don't think that's early enough, but hey, 25, it was something. So I started renting the unit, and what really got to me, and I'll just be honest here, in terms of my stint in real estate, is my landlady at the time, started to do a renovation on her driveway. And I'm there looking on, and she's tiling her driveway and have these thick amount of thin state and concrete, grout, whatever. And I'm there looking at myself. I said, that's where my money is going. It's going into that tile work for a driveway. And I can't lay claim to it. Come next year, if I move on, I can't take it with me. So I'm investing in that, and it's not really going anywhere. I don't have a problem with renting. Don't get me wrong, I'm just giving them my opinion. So from then now, I'm like, no. Within a year, I need to start buying my own property so that I am not going to invest into something that I can't take with me.
So at 24, you fly up into yourself and said, I'm going to buy my house in 1 year. What did it take in that year for you to get there? Was it, all right, so we know inflation and how that works and thing. And I know 20, how much a year is 14 years ago or whatever. It may have been difficult for some people to even consider purchasing property. How did you get there?
Well, I don't think anything has really changed. It's just that it got more exposed, so to speak. I will say this, that it didn't take a year like that. So I started my profession, an engineer, at a particular company. I won't expose that just yet. And I've been saving since working there in about 2007. So I think a bit long term as well. So although I said a year, that's a year after what motivated me. But in terms of the years before, the 3-4 years before, etc., I would have been saving a lot. So my thing was, as we're going to discuss in the topic about the psychology of money, I had a different view of how to deal with money. So I was a big saver at that time. I mean, I was saving maybe up to 60% of my salary at the time. I was living pretty frugally as well. I was living with my sister before moving into the rental apartment. But yeah, so there was some resources being gathered over a period of time.
Give me the timeline. So you started working at X Place as an engineer what time? At what
All right, so I would have started at around 22. 22. And I would have purchased my property at 25. So that's 3 years worth of savings.
After living frugally, saving up to 60% of your income.
Correct. So, I mean, all of my other friends, in your 20s, you're supposed to be partying and everything. I was like, well, I'll go to a 1 party, 2 party, and everybody is going out. I'm chilling. I'm studying, learning how money work, watching financial podcasts, those kind of stuff. So that's the frugality I'm talking. And I also live with my family. Never made it a point to make home.
I mean, we've had a whole lot of conversations. And I remember in one of the conversations you mentioned how important it was that you had a mentor.
Oh, yes.
And I want to delve into that a bit. We can have a very mistrustful culture. People afraid to tell them business to people because they don't want to bother them. What is your perception of that and mentorship?
All right, so that's two questions to ask here. So one, mentorship, I'll attack that one first. Mentorship is key. So your mentor doesn't have to be somebody physically in front of you. You can read books, you can you can watch podcasts, you can even talk to friends and so forth. And your mentor doesn't have to be what I would call a towards mentor. So for instance, I mean, I could go and talk with a CEO of a company, try and learn how to be a CEO. But there's also the opposite side of it where I can look at others and say, I don't want what him having, so I'm not do what him do. That can also be seen as somewhat as a mentor. But mentorship is very important. Having somebody who traveled the path that you are on, they can guide you. You can get a lot of perspective from them. So I invested in mentorship from the beginning, as I say, in the form of books, podcasts, and I've even had paid mentorship programs as well. I hope to start my own day.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm able to
We're looking forward to that.
But yeah, so that's one of the things. So mentorship is very key. The next thing you spoke about is trust and openness. So for me, I will say that most people tend to be guarded, which we can understand why. But for my weirdness, as you said before, I tend to be very open with a lot of people. I won't say strangers, not everybody, but I find that I'm more open compared to the normal person. And I believe that people should try to be more open, but also you have to be careful of who you're open with. I tend to be open with that, as I say, a lot. And sometimes, yes, it benefits me in most respects. All right. Or most times it really benefits me. And what you find, as I said, because of the curiosity, the willingness to learn, when you do that, you end up learning what's going on. You end up knowing who is in your corner and who isn't. And you do that through rapport. And you have to basically expose some of who you are. What I find as well is when I try to get down into and be open with people, it kind of motivates them and they get that energy as well to open up to me. So we're there having a conversation and we're exchanging information, and there you go. We might learn a lot of things and get a lot of insights going forward. So mentorship definitely, and being open and trusting definitely.
A few probably months ago, we were chatting as we always do, and you mentioned something that really struck me because I didn't understand why I was so open. Like me, I'm known for being open to a fault, and I really don't care how you feel about it because I believe the more we talk and the more we share is the more we're able to help other people. And when we keep things inside, it don't help you, it hurts you, and it hurt other people because they don't get to talk about it. But you said something, and it turned on a total light bulb for me. Like,
Let me tell you,
you actually said when you tell people your goals, because I grew up hearing you tell people your plans, keep your ideas. Yes, I stutter. Alabashamba.
Yeah,
keep your ideas to yourself.
Yeah.
And you said that when you tell people your goals, it holds you accountable.
That's what exactly.
And I thought that was okay, Stacey. I can use that as a reason why I just put my goals.
Exactly. Look at it this way, and to the audience. Something good is going on in your life. You tell a lot of people about it. You can view it as even marketing. And another thing as well is yes, you will have naysayers, you will have detractors, you will have people speaking negativity about it, but most people actually would support you and be positive. And that's how, and then with everything in life, there's always multiple or at least two ways of looking at it. So most people say, don't expose it because people can talk bad about it and kill it. But as you say, how I look at it is, if I tell people and of course not everybody, but you know, a close circle or a wider circle, whichever way, it kind of puts me in an accountability mindset that, hey, I said I'm going to do this. This is my plan. So I have to go. It helps to hold me accountable. That's how I look at when I'm open. If I say I'm going to do something, I need to deliver as best as I can. So that's how I look at sharing my goals. So if we look at it and say, boy, you know, I'm going to buy a piece of real estate next year, and I have a duty to keep my word. So that's it, really. So that's how I twist it. That's the weirdness with it. I twist around things.
Weirdness.
You know, why everybody thinking of some nihilistic approach and oh, you know, it's so I don't want to make anybody know because they'll kill it. No, telling the right person's thing. And that's where mentorship come in. You telling your mentor, hey, I want to do this. Maybe a mentor said to you, yo, that's not big enough. Dream more.
But that's the key, knowing who to tell.
Agreed.
So you certainly don't want to share your gifts or your goals with people who don't have the goals themselves.
Agreed.
Telling your circle is and that's a key environment again. Your circle has to be of people who are wanting to grow and wanting to achieve the same thing. So when you tell them that, yo, I'll tell you something. So, you know, as a financial advisor, I call people all the time. And I focus mostly on women because women just work better for me. And I remember calling this girl. I wrote a blog piece about it called something about the Powerpuff Girls. Check out my website, guys. That's www.thepracticaladvisor.com. But this girl, right, called her, and the young lady says that she's okay. I expect you to be okay. But one of the things that I pulled from the conversation with her is that she has a group of girlfriends that she's known from high school. And at the beginning of every year, she says she and her girlfriends meet and they decide what 12 things they're going to achieve in the year. And every single month they meet together and they kind of run around and see where they are with the goals that they have, and they help each other to pull them through. And this girl is on her third property right now. She's like 27. And you would never look at her and think that she's like that. She's not from money either. So environment is very important. Who you discuss your goals with, how you discuss your goals, those things are critical. So let's jump into the topic that we by the way, we have whole heap of things to talk to Rich about. This is like the first conversation. Some of the things that we even want to talk about, he might talk about it by himself, but film on a platform because we are a wire constantly. He has some very, very eccentric ideas around money and many other things that kind of throw me off, particularly around relationships. But that's for a whole other conversation.
Sexual dynamics and all those things.
Money idea. So what we want to talk about today is some of the strategies for elevating your money mindset. The fact is that there are a lot of creators online, what resources online, telling you all kind of something. Some of them are foolishness. Let's just say what it is, right? Right? Some of them are crap. Some of them not practical. Some of them will give you the information, but you don't know literally how to move from information to application. And I'm the practical advisor because I want to get people to move from the information to the application. Between information and application is mindset.
Agreed.
And mindset is developed by our experiences and our exposures over time.
Agreed.
So today we want to talk about what are the strategies to elevate your money mindset. And Richard, tell me how to do it now, please.
All right. Before we jump into it, there was something I wanted to just indicate earlier. I remember seeing this meme, and it said, just back on the mentorship thing, it said, if when you look at your circle, you're not inspired, or your doors are not doing better than you, or majority of them are not doing better than you, you don't have a circle, you have a cage. I'm sure most people have seen it. So I just say you have to choose, you know, who is around you and all of those things. So let's get back into this thing now. You said the topics?
Yeah, the topic that we're discussing is how to elevate your money mindset. And some of the things you want to look at first, you want to look at the psychology behind the money mindset and how it influences your financial success.
All right.
So hold on. I recently started this course, Holistic Financial Coach, because it is about the mind and the mindset, and sometimes the things you experience in your childhood that affects how you communicate with money.
Agreed.
It's not just knowing what to do. Sometimes doing what to do is harder because you have certain blocks that need to be addressed. So look out for that.
Yeah, all right. So the first one, psychology behind money and mindset. I mean, just to put it out there, folks. I mean, I'm not Richard Smith is not a financial advisor or financial expert or so. I mean, we're here to have a conversation today. And essentially, I can only express to you my experiences, what has worked for me, and what happens up here over the period of time that led to those successes. So just to make that clear before we go ahead. However, we'll jump into it as you say, Stacey. The psychology behind money and the mindset on how it influences our financial success. All right, so I will steer away from money from time to time, just to, show the whole psychology and the whole thinking behind anything here. So how you perceive and how you do anything in life, approach to money, relationships, anything, it depends on how you perceive it, how you understand it, how you view it, how you apply it, all of those things. And all of that happens up here. One of the things I mentioned earlier is having a curiosity mindset. Okay, so one of the things I will always say, I'm a student of life. I like to learn things. So one of the first things is understanding what is money, how does it work, all of those things comes into the psychology. We all grow up saying, hey, you must save your money, you must make as much as possible, all of those things.
Money is a rule.
And people will say, that Bible verse is not properly said, is the love of money, them say, or something like that, right? But all of those things come together, form our culturing from the outset. But yes, and there are a lot of financial coaches and gurus out there telling you how money know. I will not see some of them are not effective, but the thing is, you will have a lot of information out there. You really just have to find a good set of information to move forward with. Again, the whole mentorship thing and all of that comes in place. My views, money is simply a tool. That's all it is. You can't take up a dollar and eat it. You really can't do anything with it but just to use it to do something else. I'm on my way to the podcast. I'm like, what use does the physical money have? If you have the physical money, I think. If it's in the account, it's just there. If you're on an island starving, you can't eat it. You really can't. There's a lot of things you can do with it, but the point is it doesn't have any material use in itself. It's what you do with it that counts. For instance, you have a shovel at home. A shovel is a tool.
Can you use it to beat somebody?
All right.
To death?
You can
I can't say that.
Hey, just like that, a shovel is a tool.
Yeah.
So you can, if you want to eat porridge with it, I'm sure you can do that to some way. It probably will be very ineffective. And also you can use it to beat somebody, or you can use it to mix some concrete with your house, or dig a hole for plant a tree or whatever. It's how you view it. So everybody know what a shovel is for. You understand? You grow up, I'm sure when you were young, you said, Daddy, or Mommy, what is that? Or Uncle, what is that? And they tell you exactly what it's for, what it's used for. So that's what it is. Finding the right person to tell you that. No, the psychology is just understanding that it's a tool has made a big difference for me. When I was growing up, it made it look like money is like everything. Like it was all about that. And it's this big, great thing. I mean, it does great things, but in and of itself, I don't think there's anything great about it. It's just another tool. So that's my psychological approach. So I don't necessarily get lost in the whole money thing. I'm more concerned with what it does rather than what it is. So $1 million, it's $1 million. It's a tool. Okay, what am I going to do with this $1 million? That's how I look at it. Might seem a bit stoic, but that's all it is. I've never really been excited all the time about money. I say, $1 million. No, it's still just a tool. And it's not that I'm speaking from a richer, wealthy mindset. It's just understanding the psychology that And I'm gonna say it again, I may sound like a scratch record here. It is just a tool, probably no more valuable than your shovel, your fork and your spoons at home, your bed. It just has some use.
Well, at this point, I'd like to insert some pertinent information about Mr. Richard Smith. Richard rides his bicycle. Outside of owning all these properties, and how much car now, Richard?
That's a tree. Just a tree.
30.
30.
Aside from owning all these properties, because he's into real estate, and aside from now leaving the real estate to jump into motor vehicles and transportation business, Richard rides bicycle. Richard rides to how much miles you ride to work every day?
It's not much, maybe like 5 miles or something. I don't even know how riding to get to work.
And him ride like a speeding train. So instead of half an hour when him take for a ride, Richard live up him live up University side, right? And him work
downtown.
Somewhere downtown. So Richard rides his bicycle every day. The downhill part, somebody know. I don't know how you make it for ride. I tried riding bicycle, and it's not because of you. It wasn't you that, But Richard rides to work every day. He doesn't own a vehicle for himself. He doesn't live in any of the homes that he owns, because those are rental properties for income generation. But that's what the man focus. The man, they focus differently, Richie. So we're talking about mindset.
Yes.
What kind of mindset it takes for you to be able to endure them kind of sacrifice. That is a serious sacrifice. Those are sacrifices. Like, I can't imagine it without a car.
So, let me put it this way.
What is the end goal for you? Like, where you want with all of these? Do you consider it to be sacrifice?
I really don't. I really don't. You have a word in your tagline here called practical. It's practical. For me, my word for 2024 and for some time in the past has been pragmatism, which is the same thing. Just being practical about what you're doing, whatever information. So, for instance, the riding, just to let you know, I'm sick of traffic. I don't like traffic, and I'm there riding, leave everybody in the traffic heading to work. Go to work and then in the evening is roughly the same because I'm going where everybody's going. So why compete in traffic with everybody? I'll save the time and go. So it's about being pragmatic for the most part. There are times we can end up driving to work because I have to, get a vehicle or take out the
road. Stuff for
about to deliver things. That's one thing, and it goes again to your network. You understand? I mean, I do have a very supportive network. I mean, if I want a vehicle, I can just get one to borrow and stuff like that, So those things come into play, right? Building a network is very key as well. So as I said, the first thing in psychology, money is just that tool. I mean, I can't go through everything now. I just can't give you the main stuff based on what I've used to, for my little successes here and
there. Liar. Your success are not little, but come here, come go on like you're nice.
Where we want to get to.
Anyways, so we look at the importance of the psychology behind mindset and the fact that money is a tool. I like to tell my clients that money is energy and it has to move. It has to do something. So a lot of people, they are faced with, once them have money, all kind of judgment and drama will come from all over the place because the money has to go somewhere. And so whenever you have money, you have to literally be telling your money what to do. Your money is not the boss of you, or you run things.
True.
So you have to, which is why budgeting and managing your expenditures, tracking your expenditures is so important. I like to tell my clients too, like if ever you decide that you're serious about your money, you cannot manage something that you don't understand. So you're not really serious about your money until you do the arduous task of starting to track your expenses. Okay, you can't manage what it is that you don't understand. Like, I don't care how much money you want to earn, because it's literally not about how much you earn at all. I'm not business how much millions you want to make by the end of the year. If you don't understand your relationship with money, you're gonna be in problems as much as a man where now work and slump and corner, robot him and middle. You will literally have to start tracking your expenses as step number one. So now when I sit with my client or my prospects, as them start talk, I just draft up an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheet spreadsheet I have, and I start noting them expenditures, them income, so we know how much money them have net left and how much money they need to get to in terms of emergency funds and stuff.
Yep.
And I'll send that to none of them know it.
That's the next.
Them don't use it.
A lot of them, because they don't understand that is it. So further to what you said about you can't manage or you don't track, there's a way I look at it. You cannot manage what you don't measure. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. That's really what it comes down to. You have to measure, there has to be some numerical thing that you can manage. And remember, manage is a big word. People take it for granted. You have things like monitoring, control, executing, all of those stuff. When you talk about management, it's not just to take control of something. There's a lot of things in it, which includes reviews, all of them things. Execution, control, measuring, everything. So you cannot manage what you cannot when you don't measure. Have to measure. And that's where tracking is concerned. Knowing where your money going, all your expenses, budgeting, and so forth. And a lot of the things that we grow up with culture, a lot of it is on the, let me put it this way. If you're to take what you learn, what I have found, is that the juicy stuff is the opposite of what they say, or some other direction. For instance, budgeting. We're all been told, oh, you budget, you just get up and you say, hey, I earn this and I do that and that's it. And you sit down and you say, I earn 100,000, I spend 95, so I have 5,000 left. That's not budgeting. That's just some kind of thing. You're just basically looking at what is. Budgeting is more like a projection. So for instance, just so we finish this, to execute proper budgeting, you should have at least 2 to 3 months of information, historical information. And from that, you do a budget. That's how it works.
Historical information means tracking. So you would have to, because a lot of, when I sit with my clients and them tell what I'm spending, I say, just a lie, I tell you. Not even them know what I'm spending on.
You don't know, so you can't budget
know.
for you don't know.
You don't know.
You need 2 3 months of information on a sheet where you look out and say, I've been doing this for the past 3 months. If I can get 6 months or a year, all the better. So you now can sit down and say, I spend on average this per month. So you can say, this is my
Please
budget.
share the live. Please share. Share
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
you need to have that information. When I meet with somebody, if them tell me say them bust them budget every month, we know it's that problem. Them undertaking expenses. All right. So what are some of the practical things that you do, like simple things that you do? We spoke about the tracking expenditures. How do you track your expenditures, and how does that work? Like, did you ever get tired or you can't bother, you forget, and like, how you manage your part?
All right. So I'm kind of going all over the place, but bear with me. So number one, when for my tracking tools and techniques that I use, for instance, I have approached it in a way that it has become addictive. And that's as I said, the weirdness again. What matters to me needs to be addictive. You have other words, sorry. It can be very important, it can be a priority, whatever you want to call it. I go the extent and say addictive. So right now I'm addicted to tracking my expenses. Every day I'm just opening the sheet, look at it. I want to know what I need to put in it. How can I improve it? How can I this and that? And this has been going on from at least 2016 and even before that. So I would say becoming excited about something is very important, which would also lead to this prioritization, addiction, all of those things. So that's one of the things that I have set for myself, where I ensure that, and as I say, I take it, she said, I'm weird. So this is the weirdness of me, I'm not looking at it as a priority. I'm saying what I need to be addicted to make it work. That's my approach.
For anybody who is interested in getting, I want to go on a trip and see my daughter's little friend from school. They've done the company. If anybody is interested in getting this tracking Google Sheet, I literally have mine as an app on the front of my phone. So my first apps are my phone, WhatsApp, my tracking, and my calendar in case I need to book any meetings. So you can literally have it on your phone with just one touch. You can update and put in your expenditure. So if you're interested in getting access to that Google Sheet or have it done for you, you can send me a message, a DM, you can WhatsApp me at 818-7624, and I'll be more than happy to share it with you, because the more everybody learns to manage their money is the better everybody is going to be at the end of the day. So I'm quite passionate about ensuring that people understand how to manage their money, because we want everybody to have money, everybody to earn.
Of course. Yes, sir. Yeah. So as you say, you put it right at the front of your phone. Everybody love them phone. So as me going on my phone, I'm going on my WhatsApp, everything. There are this WhatsApp group with all of my expenses and the thing. When my computer is right there, just as your schedule and whatever. It's just like when I have on the Instagram and TikTok, right? It's on the YouTube. Put something that will add value to your financial life right there. You're tracking.
One thing that you taught me was creating a WhatsApp group with yourself. So even if you can't get to your Excel spreadsheet or your tracking tool, there are apps too that you can download from Play Store. But if you create a WhatsApp group with yourself, you just text the information, and when you get to your computer or you get some time, you can just translate them into your, so you can see where you are with your expenses.
So everybody love about two share them, yeah? Can create a WhatsApp group, one to the next one, and you just have the information there. So there's no excuse. You can message yourself. There you go. You can message on yourself. But it's just about using whatever is at your disposal. Anything that you are using frequently, be it phone, tablet, whatever it is, just put it in there. That's all it is.
Right. So, yeah. And what we're saying is that you want to become addicted, obsessed with tracking your expenditures and understanding your money, because literally nobody now gonna do it for you. And if you don't get up and decide to get this crap done, it's never going to happen. Like legit, never going to happen.
I'm going to give you another technique that applies to basically everything in life. There's a thing I'm saying recently to everybody across. Look at anything in your life that you consider is a success. You're a success at. It could be the smallest of things. Doing homework with your kids. It could be going for a walk. It could be even your job and your work. I use my job as an example, and I tell people this all the time. Whatever you're a success in your life, or what you consider as a success, look at what it takes and just apply that to everything else. If you want to be successful at tracking, just look at what you do at your work. Most of us are effective at our work. We get paid to do our job. There's something we do to be good at that. And one of the things is you get up early. You get up 5 o'clock and you start to at work. So it's a strange advice here. When you get up 5 o'clock in the morning, track your expense. You understand? You make sure you spend 8 hours at work every day. I spend time to track.
I encourage my clients to look at their sheets when they're eating breakfast. So you want to, it's a part of the Atomic Habits.
There you go.
Atomic Habits, guys. So, yeah, that's a book, right? So in it, one of the habits is marrying your activities. So if you're eating breakfast, you track your expenditures. You're having a shower, you listen to right, something that would add value. So I encourage my clients to look at their sheets when they're having breakfast in the morning.
There you go.
And marry that kind of. May I go on though?
Yeah, because a breakfast so you can go work. So a breakfast so you can track. You understand? Do them something else. So it's the one advice I say, and the approach, practical thing is just to say, hey, whatever I'm doing to get this a success in this factor, apply that same thing. Consistency, the time investment, the mindset involved, the commitment, the dedication, the discipline. Just put it to it. And it don't have to be like this big. Just start small and you build up over time.
Right, so we literally have about 15 minutes left
Sure.
to check our quick wrap up, but we will come back, of course. I've already put things to talk about, I've already put ideas. But what are some of the practical techniques to identify and overcoming limiting beliefs around money?
Limiting beliefs around money. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. Be curious. And the big thing about being curious is simply this. The technique, question everything. Just question it. Why is Jeff Bezos so rich? Right? Why is that man over there so poor? Why is it that I'm having $1 million now? What should I do with it? Why should I do that with it? Question everything. I know this is very,
Cliche.
Cliche. But it's really that simple. Just question it. And when I say question, it's not just to ask a question, but it opens up your mind to learning what you need to do to move forward. And I say I can't go through everything and the details.
Not at this time. We will do more live.
That's one of the major things I would say. Be curious, and in being curious, just ask the question. The only stupid question is the one that's not asked. Always remember that.
Yeah. So one of the things I like to do with my clients and even myself, and I also have a friend of mine who does we call them meditation day. Like she does a meditation that allows you to meet your higher self. So you need to identify, and you said it when we just started, what do you need to become to get the things that you want to get?
Exactly.
You have to look at yourself. Hi, Shamoy. Where does Shamoy, who does Shamoy need to be to have the things and hold the things that you want to be? Exactly. So you want to project yourself in the future. So for me, my future, anyways. So you want to project yourself into the future. Who do you need to be? Who do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Like, feel that in your belly. And then you want to translate that to the paper and to actual practical things. How do I get to that person? What is a time frame? Because time is important. All your goals have to smart goals.
Yep.
Right? So it has to be specific. Where do I specifically want to be 5 years from now? How do I measure if whether I've gotten there or not?
Yep.
Is it achievable?
Yep.
Is it relatable? It makes sense because I can't be white.
Be realistic.
I can't be a white woman in 5 years. I'm not gonna bleach, right? And then is it time bound?
Time bound. There
Right.
we go. Smart objective.
That is one of the ways I help my clients and myself too. And sometimes you have to also set time to sit down and meditate on that person. Think about who that person is. But that is when you check your sheet in the mornings or before you go to bed at night. That's the best time to sit down and look at yourself and your goals. Before you go to your bed, after you put on your phone and everything is out of your mind, sit down and literally dream about who is that person that you want to be and get the strategies down to get that done. The next thing is, what are the strategies to cultivate a mindset of abundance, attracting wealth and prosperity?
Strategies to cultivate. We did, We did.
Meditation.
Well, meditation is one of them. Vision board. That's a good one because I actually have a big
vision board.
Big sheet. Just take one on the wall and set out all of that.
And hold on there. People, the next thing, sir? You don't have to highfalutin and pretty.
Nope.
The idea is just to get it there. So if it means you go take a picture or you will write something and stick it for your bathroom mirror, your vision board.
Yeah, that's one way of
so visioning.
So for abundance as well, folks, there's one other thing I will put in here. And it's life. In life, what you have to do is just understand a few concepts and how things work. People always talk about this thing called confidence, right? And we grew up hearing about confidence and say, boy, being confident, can work with your abundance mindset as well. Confidence is there somewhere. And we grew up hearing, you just need to be confident. And one of the biggest things when I question it, where does it come from? Like, none of we not question that. Where confidence come from? You know, answer that finally.
No, I can't, because I've had to work through my confidence.
Work your confidence, right?
Yeah, as somebody who I stutter like hell. And you grew up in school, Lord Jesus, I'm like, kill you with Jesus. You know, and then the thing about stuttering too is that when you stutter, it sometimes gives the impression say you don't know where to talk about. So there again, my confidence. However, what helped me was I realized, I think it was when I was at UA. So I went to an all-girls school, Holy Child High School, and everybody babied me and understood me the whole of my life, right? When I was about to apply for college, I remember they were very concerned. And you asked me, are you going to apply for college? Because you can't talk, say that you can't find a job to do anything. And it wasn't that they were being mean. They were genuinely concerned that the way I couldn't talk in a real life, I would not be able to survive out there in the working world. I went to UA, no. I went to UA and the people gave me hell. And I had an epiphany one day. It was like, you can choose to fall back and become nothing, or you can choose to become a whole different person. And just like that, I'm just pop it. And I became a whole different person and just chat.
So where does the confidence come from?
My decision.
Your decision.
I made a decision that this is not how I wanted to live my life.
So decision, and that's the thing. Yes, culture tells us.
I made a decision.
So let me make it simple for a lot of folks here. Yes, we grew up saying you need to just decide it and stuff like that. But where the gap is that we don't understand where exactly it comes from. Now, in short, it comes from competence. Confidence comes from competence. Like for instance, we can look at you and say, you're confident that you can tend to do it. You have got the skills, you have got the motor skills, the mindset, everything. So it does require work. Yes, the decision is important, but you have to understand that confidence comes from competence, and where competence comes from is working at something, doing the training, getting yourself the skills to do it. So that's the part that people don't understand.
But suppose I always mess up and I'm not competent at anything, or my competence comes in bursts.
All right, so that is where consistency comes in, where you may get up and you do something and it didn't work the first time. You have to get some more new knowledge, add to that, and become more capable of doing whatever you need to do. But I'm confident that I can stand up right now and run over there in 5 seconds because I'm competent.
Because you ride 10 miles a day.
You do all them something. So you have to do the work, you have to decide, also the decision, and do the work as well. That's really what it comes down to. It don't just pop out at thin air as well, culture.
All right, do you have any specific tips for setting and achieving financial goals with confidence and clarity?
Confidence and clarity.
Any specific tips? Like give me about 3 tips. Give me 3 tips. Give me 3 rich tips.
All right. Number 1, write it down. That's the first thing I'm going to say. Whatever comes to your mind, write it down. They call it journaling. Write down anything that comes to mind when it comes on to goals, success, so forth. It doesn't have to be no big 1,000-word essay. Scribble it on a little sticky note. Scribble it on a little piece of paper, something. Just write it down. What it does, it takes the information from the head and put it on paper so you can move from somewhere easily. One of the biggest advice I give to people, when you write down things, imagine discussing something and you write down more side. When you go back to think about it, you're no longer starting from square one. You just look on the paper and continue from where you are. A lot of people keep the goals in their head. So when you go back to think about the goal, they say, what a goal again? Oh, my goal is to buy yourself. You know, write down. And you go back again and say, what my goal? Oh, my goal was to buy a cell phone. What my next step? And the third time you go there, you say, this time my goal was to buy a cell phone or whatever. You write that down from day one. Goal to buy a cell phone, When you say, what's my next step now? You say, oh, done it already. Okay, how am I going to do it? You move on. So first thing is writing it down.
Step number 1.
That's one of the first advice. The next one is we talk about your network. Talk about your company, your circle, right? I would say discuss it with your circle.
Discuss the goal with your circle.
Man. So when me buy, still talk about money and property. When me buy my first investment property, I go to my brother and I say, yo, you know, someone want to buy that property there. And I say to him, say, hey, I'll do that. Enough people around me tell me, no. And this is a guy who sit down and check 2, 3 days a week after work, we just sit down, drink a soda, and just chat about all the things. And he said, "Boy, Richard, you know, it's a good thing to do that." And instead of saying no like everybody else, him look at me and say, to own that property, you need to adopt this mindset. So before we go to mindset, the advice here is to talk to somebody about it. Go talk to somebody who own a property. He own
Talk
a
to your
property.
financial
Talk
advisor.
to your
That's why
financial
financial
advisor,
advisors
your
are
mentor,
important.
all of them things. So have a mentor and talk to them. And your mentor, if you're like some mad people, it can also be a cat at your house, but that's another topic. But the bottom line is talk to somebody who either has traveled the way you travel or is an expert to do this. Here's a practical advisor. Talk to her about it. They don't necessarily have to do it, you know. The point is they know people who do it and they see it all around.
Right.
These gurus and these experts, I think, they've seen it being done so many times that they can look at the correlation and express it to you.
Exactly.
So the first one, as we say, write it down. Second one was to talk to somebody about it. And thirdly, basically, I would say start before you're ready. That's the next thing I was say to you. Start before you're ready. It sounds cliche again. As I said to you guys, from I started working, 60% of my salary I save. When we look on it and I say, I'm going to go party, it's not going to benefit me. Right? Start before you're ready. It's kind of similar like start with the end goal in mind. But just start, and the fact is the end goal is over there, you're not ready for it. Start before you're ready.
What
just
that
start.
mean really? What it mean?
What it mean?
Yeah. So let's
all right.
say me decide to say.
All right, I'm gonna buy all right, me want to buy a house.
Yeah.
Right? The first thing we hear people are talk about is, hey, why? Me not have money, so me not gonna look for nothing. Virgin, just get up and go start look. My advice people already. If you ain't have no money, no pre-qualification, just go start look. Go out there and say, oh, so I wonder what it takes to buy this. You go in there with your mapstick like a madman and punch the ceiling to make sure you learn how to look at houses. So when you finally get the nice little bonus there, or you get now a high paying job, or you do one stunt where you get your whole heap of money, you know exactly what you're going for. You know to identify deals and all of them. So that's what I mean. Them call it planning. But start before you're ready. I'm not gonna tell you if you plan. That's what I say. My advice is cliche and then kind of wayward. Just start. All right, give you an example. Me I sell honey. Me want to sell honey to supermarket.
He actually does sell honey.
Yeah, I'm a beekeeper too. Yeah. And me get up and I'm gonna say, yo, if you sell to supermarket, you need this requirement and that requirement. Just throw the honey in a buckle, get a label on, and start selling. It sounds cliche. Me remember me go on supermarket with scanner bag with the honey there. And the man just simply look at me and say, boy, this can't work, you know. You need to put them in some boxes. Me learn, me start, and me go. Me not sit down and pressure myself, oh, me go find box, or me go this and that. And I give you a thing too. Me used to go, price smart. You know, if you catch up box them, and that me start with, me just collect them box there, put me on in night and carry. I said, this is an improvement, you know. I say, yeah, till me start by the proper carton box them and do them and tape up and everything and deliver me thing, 50 case of money and go mobile. Them kind of something there. Start before you're ready. Don't wait till everything perfect. So with the house thing, me start, me I look, me I check. Me not no money, but me I check. Once the thing drop now, and you talk to your network, right? And your network look at you and say, why you know you have little sense? And you probably can lend you money. You understand? When you done write it down already, because you go to the house and you start write down that, you know, say, you done write down already, so your plan set. I mean, you must never use the word plan, but if you just write down where you want, just write. Then you say, boy, you talk to your people in your network, and one day say, yo, since you look one house, go over there, so go look one day. And them thing that happened to me. You understand? Because I share my goal. You want a house to buy, you know. And I'm gonna just call me and say, yo, you have a something back. Look over there, so check this me. And then bam, at the end, as you say, what the last one again? Remember, not so good something.
No, a tree, right. So the first
start
one,
before you're ready.
Write it down, talk to somebody about it,
yeah, and start before you're ready. Now wait for things to perfect. Just start. You want start a rental, just start. Go on Carol, go look how much you buy it, and then you start right down home. You go do this whatever.
Like I was thinking about it while I was coming here to do this. By the way, we're wrapping up, but let me just finish up this. I love what I do. I'm a financial advisor and I'm passionate about it to the core because I believe the more people know about how to manage money is the less stress we have generally, less health issues, the less macroeconomic stress we have too, because the more we are able to finance ourselves, the less the government have to worry about certain, things. And I can go on and on and on about it, but I'm quite passionate about what I do because everybody have money.
Yep.
But feel like so we our ancestors came here and worked like slaves, so we're supposed to play here. I made the most of it,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to help people as much as I can to get that done. But when I started doing videos, right, it was just my phone. And so I'm bridging. I don't know the guy from nowhere. One of my Facebook friends sent me a tripod and a ring light and said, keep doing your videos, but use this because the lighting will be better. I don't know the boy from Adams. So much so when the person comes, gifted me this because he saw that there was a future for what I wanted to do.
Imagine you sit down and I say you can't start your podcast.
But
You
can't
have
the
the
light.
tripod and the ring light.
Right.
Start with a little phone that we plan for it. And as you go along, and people will also say, yo, you need a tripod, and them tell you exactly the high quality stuff we get.
I get it fair.
I just
You'd
get
be
it fair to
surprised
say.
how many people want to help people. Yo, people they want to help people like crazy.
Here, and that is where openness and trust comes in play, as we talked about before. And no time me I do my thing. And I have some supportive friends and family around it. My sister and my rock. So you understand? And when we go to sister and I talk to everybody, we say, yo, and this more I do, And them say, and them give gifts. Me all get money per loan. Like them just have it and them say, me have the money, I'm want to do something with it. And say, why me not use it till December? Say, lend me till December, me give you back then.
With interest.
Even with interest too. Right? So enough of them are interest free. I will admit that and give them a thing on it. But the point is, when people say you're there around, you start before you do your thing, you go ahead with it. You start your video and you go. You're not ready yet, you just start and move. You use your phone and if you take a shutdown, if you buffer and whatever. And the man just come, see a ring light and give me time. Me babysitting for 2 hours while I do your podcast. Yeah. When people see what you're doing, then they chip in. There's a lot of people out there willing to help, but because them don't know, where a lot trust and all them things. Me there are people and them I say, Richard, you just chat your business so. Say, look here, you know how much help me get when me walk my mouth and talk.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Here you go. Walk your mouth and talk to something there. More do this, more want new phone, whatever. You get me? Anything can go on. And then you have a lot of people who are willing to support you. Yeah. Just be that person. Of course, you have to have character and integrity and all of them something there you have to have. The point is, enough of us have some friend around where can't do food. Because enough of them. So there you go.
So thank you very much for taking your time out of your Sunday afternoon, Richie.
Definitely one anytime, man.
Richie is one of my brethren them who is one of those people I have in my corner. We disagree a lot.
No things.
We cuss a lot, but it's somebody who's practical and I give it straight up. Whether I like it or not, I'm gonna give it straight. And that's who I like around me.
Yep.
And I call it out on this platform. And these are we're on 3 platforms. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, and we're on Zoom.
Nice. Why you teach me how to do that?
Wait on. I'm gonna show you how I call it out. So you've been on this issue of starting your own podcast for a minute. And therefore, I need timelines, specific measurements. You need to tell me when you are going to go live on your platform and what is exactly going to happen. Tell us when you're going to do it so we can join.
All right. So one of the things that all right. So my podcast going to be about money, mindset, and probably intersexual relationships, general relationship, life as you make it, them something. That's how we're going to do. And what we're going to know? April?
Yeah.
We try to target July. I said July.
Some feel like we could have probably partner, Richie, and do it together.
Sure, make we do that now.
We can do it tonight. What do you guys think? You think we can partner together? Shamawai?
In the comments.
Yes, I think so. I'm willing to join and listen just like today.
Many ever wide when I be a wide
Yeah.
Contention
But
says,
I think we can do it in a Richie. I think me I can do
I think
it.
so. We should. We should take it on.
Yo, him have some ideas about relationships and women and money that, oh my God, blow my mind. I just want
I want to hear that.
want to stab him. No, you don't want to hear Shamoy. Shamoy, you don't want to hear what Richie has to say about women and relationships. Can I stab him? Amazing speaking with you as it always is. And so the Practical University is a part of the Practical Advisor outfit. But what it does here is that we want to talk to people who are actually doing the actual thing. So a lot of people highfalutin and them, you feel like some boy you have to get degree for this, blah, blah, blah. But no, there are people who under them degree navigate the system because sometimes if you listen to what traditional information said, you end up in a bare foolishness. Now, there's a strategy that Richie would have used to be able to have acquired 7 properties, bringing in about $1 million per month in revenue.
Gross.
We're not talking business. But there are strategies that he would have used to get him to where he is right now. To have showed him some boy, take a break off of the real estate market, okay, because them are going to mean and wicked. Try something else. So there are things that other people do in them life. Don't tell I'm a woman. I was watching Kalila the other day and she interviewed this lady who is a market vendor and she talked about her stock investment. There are simple people who are doing the things them and doing them quite fine. Those are the people that we are interested in. Yeah, Master Week has it done cement. There are people who are doing these simple things, simple people, everyday people who are being successful. And those are the people the Practical University wants to reach out to. So we can show the average Joe how to get it done and how to make it happen. Richard, thank you very much.
Definitely.
We should do this every 2 weeks.
We should, and we will.
Every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That works.
Virtually, I can.
Sunday.
Sunday is perfect.
Which is
That's it.
1 o'clock.
If we put that, yeah, 1 o'clock should be good. If it reach 1, we say start before you're ready for us. So you started before you're ready? Yeah.
All right. So we have a few people joining, but not late, Baba. What anyways, I really enjoyed this. I feel re-energized by this. And I look forward to doing this with you, Big Richie.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed the last time, you know. I mean,
we've done a few times.
We've done a few, and I'm always excited to have the conversation. I mean, you won't find me here with this big, long bullet list of stuff unless you don't want that. And whiteboard session. I believe in having conversation.
And if you tell him for you to still not do it.
And that's just it. That's where the information are. Them say the best meet in all workplace are just in the corridor and just meet up and just chat.
So if you want to check out the other videos that have been done on the Practical University, you can look for my YouTube channel. They will be on my website very soon. By the way, I soon link them. But the Practical Advisor JA is a YouTube channel. A lot of the interviews that I have done there on the Practical University is there. So you can go and check those out. But we're going to have a whole heap more, because Richard just agreed here, contract signed, that we're going to do the Practical University every 2 weeks on a Sunday at 1 p.m.
Yep. 1 p.m. every other Sunday.
And for the topics that maybe want to fight you for, you have to be, we can be the same thing.
Yeah, man. You there where you there and we do it virtually over this.
Simple as that. You don't make a why.
Nothing wrong with that.
Anyway, thank you guys for joining. Looking forward to seeing you on the platform. It has been a wonderful thing. Any final thing you want to say? Any closing comments?
Be curious. Question everything. Start before you're ready. Just question everything. Where you learn, where you get even at university, where you grow up, where your granny tell you. Just me not ask if you change no. Just say question it. When you question things, you can improve it, you can get different insights. And the only question that's not asked, sorry, the only stupid question is the one that's not asked. Talk, open the mouth. They say, closed mouth never get fed.
All right. One more thing. What is one resource, either a YouTuber or a book that you would recommend to be a good starting point?
A book that I would recommend? Just one?
Yes, one for today.
I would just, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
Atomic Habits is mine. So I can watch the videos on YouTube. Anyways, have a wonderful Sunday. Have a fantastic, successful week. May you knock down all your goals. And be successful this week. It has been a wonderful pleasure. Thank you for joining the Practical University. Bye.
Bye.